Well, Chris,
Let me put this away. We are recording now. My bad.
we are in fact. Welcome to Bad Beard's podcast. I am Sam Schneider. I am Bad Beard, the host of today's show, where we are a couple of real guys having real conversations today at the Road Atlanta Moto America Speedway.
Yes, it's been a great day.
It has been a great day, and you are Chris with Law Tigers. What's your position over there?
So, yeah, I'm Chris, literal, with two T's. Kind of weird spelling, but yeah. With Law Tigers, I am the regional director of marketing for the East Coast here. So I kind of handle from North Carolina around to parts of Texas. So I travel a little bit of all over.
Okay.
I manage a team of marketing managers in all those areas. So, I get to do a lot of cool stuff like this. I have my team out here set up, showing off our brand, and of course we sponsor the Trask Performance King of the Bagger race team. So they're not here this weekend, but they were out last weekend at CODIS. Shout out to Trask Performance,
Well, and so for those who are not can't see the exterior of the tent, we're in the fan zone here, the Clutch Control fan zone at Moto America's race weekend. You are Law Tigers, which is a law firm that represents specifically motorcyclists, bikers. What's generally the overall of what you guys represent and do?
So Law Tigers, we specialize in helping riders injured in accidents. We're personal injury attorneys, so we do personal injury cases. What makes us unique is in the fact that we do specialize in it, right? So the lawyers and legal teams that are working our cases, they're not doing divorces one day and then doing, criminal the next day and then doing your motorcycle accident the day later, right? Like, we know these insurance people. We have the same lawyers and legal aides that are handling these people. They know we'll take them to trial, so they know we mean business. Mm-hmm. And that really matters, right? Like having that longevity. We've been around for 22 years, but that is what we do. We take care of riders that are injured in accidents. We specialize in it, so makes us just a little bit different than your everyday law firm, right?
Got it. You're not Morgan and Morgan.
No, and nothing against those guys.
No.
They're personal injury attorneys too. And, our goal in life is really to make sure if you don't use us, use a lawyer that is qualified. Use a qualified personal injury attorney that's going to handle your case. Again, don't use an attorney that's doing one thing one day and personal injury the next day. Like, it is important that these people know what they're doing. They know the judges. They know the insurance companies. If it isn't us, use somebody that is qualified at least, at least do that.
Right, and it would be safe to assume that since you guys are often representing exclusively motorcyclists, that you guys are yourselves riders as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, every firm so we are an association of law firms across the country, right? So we're in like 39 states across the country, and each territory will have its own law firm that handles all of the Law Tiger cases. So it's not like a referral service where you call us and you get this guy or that guy. Like, it goes to those firms. So we're nationwide, but we're also local to the states that we're in. It's pretty unique. So like other firms that do that, it's a little different. Again, I don't want to talk negatively about nobody, but we are who we say we are, and all of our marketing guys ride, everybody you see out here that's out here today, Brian and Tori and myself, and we ride a little bit of everything, I ride a Harley, but I dual sport ride, so I have a Honda CRF 450 RL. It's like a street league and racing dirt bike, and it's pretty cool. I mean, the law firm here in Georgia, the head attorney there rides, I believe, a Road King, if I'm not mistaken. But we got lawyers that ride Ducatis. We don't knock brands. You could ride a moped, and as long as
two wheels is two wheels. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We're
car hits you, you're still going down.
Well, and it's the thing about riding is it is the most serene. It's the closest you can be to flying without flying, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a human being. So we get it, and that's another thing that makes us unique is because we are riders, and we are made up of a lot of lawyers that do ride. They get it. They're passionate about riding. They understand why you ride and do the things you do, and I think it just makes them that much more passionate about the cases that they have, because it isn't for our teams, it isn't just about the money, right? I mean, of course, we got to make money to be in business and be out here and do the things we do. But it's about getting that rider what they deserve. You know, I mean, us being riders ourselves, I think our guys fight just that much harder because they want to make sure that they're putting the rider back whole and then some. You know.
What is usually the experience? Say I'm a motorcyclist. I've just been hit by a car. You know, how does that process usually break down? Like, what is there some familiarity to it, or?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, for all you fans out there listening to this show, this goes for cars, trucks, anything, not just motorcycles. But, and let me back up for just a second. First and foremost, a lot of attorneys give themselves a bad name with the commercials they run, promising the world, right? Not every case is worth $1 million. What they don't tell you is that that's life-threatening, or you might lose an arm or a leg or something to get $1 million, right? So they give themselves a bad name, promising the world to people, right? We don't do that. You know what I mean? You call us before you call your insurance company. No matter if you drive a car, truck, what you drive, call a lawyer first. You know, call some personal injury guy. You know, like. Because before you give your insurance company a recorded statement, you should always talk to a lawyer. I mean, you may have been knocked out and wake up in a hospital, and the first phone call you're getting is from the insurance company wanting you to give a recorded statement of what happened. You know, I mean, that's probably not the best time for you to do that. You need to gather yourself and really talk to, you know, us or a qualified attorney, and talk to people in your circle before you give your insurance company a statement, right? So you should call us first after an accident, you know. Let us talk to you. We have a free case evaluation. There's no money up front or anything like that. We review your case, you know, look at all the facts, any accident reports, witness statements, things like that, and then we let you know up front, this is what your case could be valued at if we pursue and you go with Law Tigers. You know, that's the way personal injury cases are usually handled, and that should go for any personal injury attorney. Like, they shouldn't take money from you up front. Like, if you go for, I hate to say divorce, but that or a criminal case or something, you're going to pay money up front. But in a personal injury, the money comes in at the end when we win your case. That's when money is paid, right?
Well, so my experience, I've been hit by a couple cars on motorcycles, and at the time I was directed to who's another comparable to Law Tigers. They're on the West Coast. I want to say Eagles in the name, or
it is their logo. We're going to call them the Eagles just because I don't want to say their name.
No, absolutely. Well, so
I'm just kidding. Shout out to Russ Brown. You guys do a great job out in Cali.
Well, and I think Russ passed away not
he did pass
about a
away.
year ago.
God bless his soul, man. Yeah, but his people are great. I see him out at rallies. I just seen him at Daytona. I always say hi to him. And again, use qualified attorneys. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
there you go.
So, but what I wasn't aware through my experience, because how would I know otherwise, right? It's not like everybody gets like a handbook and like, hey, if you get hit by a car, this is what you should consider ahead of time. So I was hit by a car. I broke my leg in like 17 places. There's all sorts of stuff. But I didn't know, as I went through the experience, like, you know, rehab and all these different things that, like, oh no, you do them, you will incur a cost, but it's all deferred, and it goes into the overall case that will then be fought for you along the way, and or delegated with the insurance companies and come to some type of resolution.
Sure.
I had none of that information, and so when it was time for rehab, or it was this versus that, I did none of it because I'm like, I can't afford that, and so I'll just tough it out or do my own thing.
Sure.
And so as the case progressed, they were like, you just don't have a lot for us to really fight for, because I had been just not doing anything other than like my surgery or whatever that I had done, because I didn't know any better. What is that conversation, or is that something that when you speak to somebody, you walk them through things like that, or what does that look like?
Yes, so it is really imperative that you call a lawyer sooner than later after your accident because of information like that. So if you do have an accident and you do have serious injuries where you require surgery or rehabs or what have you, if you don't go and perform those physical therapies or whatever the doctor is instructing you to do, then when it comes to your settlement, it's valued less, because you're not, the the way they look at it is, a judge will look at it is if your injuries were that serious, you would have went and done with what the doctor said to do. Right now, again, I am not an attorney. I am just a marketing manager.
You just look great in a hat.
I did grow up with an attorney being my stepmom, so it rubbed off. And I've been in this business for 5 years now, so I mean, I do pay attention to what is going on, right? But it is important that you do what the doctor instructs you to do, right? Because at the end of the day, the pain and suffering and the things that you should get paid for, if you're not doing the doctor visits and things that you should be doing, again, they're going to look at it as, well, that you must not have been in that much pain, or you would have did the pain management or what have you. So it's important to call an attorney early. Another reason is too, people they think they're suing you, right? If you hit me, like, people think, well, I don't want to sue him, man. He's a great guy. I love his podcast, like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? But like, you're not suing, people aren't suing Chris, right? You're suing my insurance company, right? And insurance companies are for profit. So when you have an accident, if you don't have a lawyer to look over your case, again, most every personal injury lawyer, it's free to evaluate the case. You may get charged way more for your hospital bills, for everything, than a lawyer can get for you. And in fact, statistically, after paying your lawyer, you get 30% more from your insurance company after paying a lawyer than you do if you don't have a lawyer.
Yeah.
Because lawyers work on your medical bills. So like, let's say you go to the hospital and they charge you $250 for an aspirin. It happens. Get an itemized receipt, people. It's out there. We have ways to work that down back to $1.50, where you, as the normal citizen without a law degree, no offense to anyone, without going to college 7 years, but I mean, not all of us do,
Yeah.
But you're not going to get that. You're going to pay $250 for that aspirin, so you're not going to get any money back, where that lawyer's going to get you money back in your pocket.
Yeah.
So it's important to call them as soon as possible to maximize your dollars, plus understand your legal rights and what you have to do to make sure that you're taking care of yourself too,
Yeah. Well, and I think hindsight, to my experience and all things considered, when I talk to other folks or people that have been in accidents, because previous to, my experience with attorneys was limited. I didn't really have much personal experience. And so I'm just like relying on TV and hearsay and all the conjecture and things that a lawyer would say. And so I do value what you guys are offering, and when you, Russ Brown, whoever it may be out in the streets, are doing, and equally having you on here today to educate or at least inform someone that it's like, this isn't a money grab.
Absolutely.
This is fully just a protection.
Absolutely.
And just managing and mitigating the ding-dongs over in insurance land that just do not give a fart about you.
Yes.
You're just a bottom line and a dollar sign. And so another question that I have, and so again, I know you're not an attorney, but you play one on TV, that another case I was involved in, I was in a bad accident again, doing some stunt work, and I had blown apart my head. And so with this production company and the people paying for everything, it was a big TBI, big brain injury, traumatic brain injury. At the time, again, one, I was half a tic tac. I was not all there.
Sure.
And that lasted. I lost like a year, gone. I think now moving forward, this was over a decade ago or something like that. That like they may have paid for what they needed to at the time, but they were ready to sign all the paperwork that they never got revisited, because I'm like, who's to say I'm not gonna, like, in another 10 years, box of rocks, Sam is back.
Sure.
Like, what kind of damages did I do that I'm like, I don't think they're gonna be liable or for any of it, because I don't even remember what I signed or what I said or what I did in relation to it. And so that would have been another one of those times. I never talked to an attorney through that experience.
Yeah.
Where that should have been something that, if not myself, my partner or someone at least speaking for me at the time, like, would that have been an instance that I should have spoke to an attorney?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Again, insurance companies are for profit. Their job is to pay you the least amount of money that they can, right?
Mm.
And you hinted on it a while ago, talking about how your medical bills went on, because it may be months, even years, before all your therapies and medical bills are done. So some of these cases do take a while for you to get paid for, because you have to know how much medical bills you have, or you need a lawyer to fight for you to say, yeah, this is the medical bills, but this is something that's going to affect him for years to come, so that you do get more money to pay for those hospital visits that aren't happened yet, but can happen in the future. And that's really something that's very hard to do on your own without a lawyer. They're not going to offer that to you. You know what I mean? They're not going to say, hey, we know you was a head injury and there could be something down the road, so we're just going to go ahead and give you an extra $150,000. That will never happen with an insurance. I mean, their job is literally to pay you pennies on the dollar. So yeah, it is really important, especially if you have any bodily injury whatsoever. I mean, we all have tattoos and stuff, right? I mean,
mine are press on.
If you go down and your tattoos get messed up, well, I mean, there's ways we can get stuff paid for. I mean, like that you may not be able to do yourself. You know, so I mean, I know some of us have thousands of dollars of ink on us. You know, so it just little things like that you wouldn't be able to get compensated back for. You don't know how to navigate your policy to ask for the right things. It's the medical bills, it's time off work, it's the whole nine you have to think about when you have these injuries. So absolutely, I would always recommend calling a qualified attorney. Like I say, even if it ain't Law Tigers, call a qualified attorney, because let them look into that for you. You know, they're gonna put somebody on that to look into it to make sure that they're maximizing your dollars even as the years go on. So again, you can't look at it as you're suing Chris, right? You really have to look at it as, you know, I'm owed this money. That's why you pay an insurance premium. That's why the person that had the accident with you pays their insurance premium. It's so that you get that compensation, you know?
Yeah, makes sense. So when you guys are here at this event, that rally, and you guys set up your tent, your booths, what is it you're just educating, you're informing? What's your role when you're out?
So, you know, typically when we're out, we support, that is part of what we do, is we support a lot of these local charities and rides and races and all that throughout every state that we're in, right? We are local to each state, so we make sure that we're giving back to the community through these charity rides and supporting, you know, bike nights with shops and stuff like that. So when we're out here, we have like free rider wallets we give out, lens cloths, different swag items, things like that. But then we also educate people on carrying the proper insurances, right? You know, in each one of our rider wallets, which it's a wallet, you open it up and it has where you can put your insurance and registration card in there, put it under your bike seat or something. For ladies, they're awesome too, because instead of carrying a purse to an event, they're real thin.
Yeah.
So you can put an ID and a credit card or something in there, so they're kind of nice, you know, for that too. But so we really like to educate people on proper insurance when we can speak to them and let them know, open that thing up and show them, like, it has minimal insurances that we recommend. And the biggest thing is we always recommend carrying underinsured and uninsured motorists. So if someone has an accident with you and they have no insurance, that can kind of dampen what the payout could be, because now you're only having your insurance, right? And this is important when it comes to medical bills, because, like I say, $250 Tylenol, they ain't cheap. You know, medical bills are expensive. So, but having those on your policy is important. And most of the time when you call your insurance company, they only give you the state minimums. You have to ask for the extra coverages, right? So if you don't ask for uninsured, underinsured, and it's not a minimum in your state, then you won't even get it. And a lot of times it's like $5 to add it a month.
Okay.
You know, we're not talking hundreds of dollars. And then typically too, you know, most state minimums for bodily injury and stuff is like $25,000 to $50,000. We recommend raising that $100,000, $200,000. But the main thing is whatever you can afford. In most cases, raising it to over $100,000 or $200,000 is only like an extra $10 to $15 a month. Mm-hmm. Again, though, look, I come from a family of 10 where I got my sister's hand-me-down shoes. I understand money's tight. Get what you can afford, though. Right. You know what I mean? If you can't afford the extra 10, you can afford the extra 5. Do it, man. That's a coffee. You know what I mean? Like, that's a pack of smokes. Like, make that sacrifice to have yourself protected the way you should be.
Yeah, that's why I wear 2 helmets.
Yeah.
You know?
You need to, as many accidents as you've had, bro.
So, one more question, and then I got a final statement. So, Law Tigers, I see this fierce beast on your hat. Where'd that logo come from?
So the company Law Tigers, our brand actually started out in Arizona with a father and son, right? The father was a lawyer and the son did the marketing. And
Okay.
the father rode, and shout out to the 11 Bombs. They're awesome people, man. They still run the company and own the company today.
Shalom.
Absolutely. Great people though. But it started out in Arizona, and um, if you know the animal kingdom, a tiger is aggressive. It's fierce. It actually has a great memory. Like they can remember for years. Like they take care of their own. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't mess with a tiger cub or the pack, right? Well, that relates the same way to who we are as motorcycle riders, right? Like, man, we all help each other out. We're all super aggressive for our pack. We all take care of each other. Like, it just fit with who we are as a company and who they were as a people when they started the brand.
That's awesome. Yeah, good to know. I didn't know if you guys were like affiliated with like Joe Exotic or something like that. You know what I mean?
Actually,
Tiger King.
so we've had I think it was Missouri or some state. One of you marketing managers out there will correct me, but we had a Joe Exotic impersonator come work a couple events.
I hope so.
Because he had these big fake tigers, and he looked exactly like Joe Exotic. But I think he's still in prison. But hopefully he gets out one
He
day.
needs better attorneys.
He does. He does.
Yeah, it won't be you guys because you represent motorcyclists.
That damn Carol Baskin's got that guy. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, and this is now your time. If you want to fill in to this camera, to that camera, anything that anybody should know, or where to find you, or look you guys up.
Guys, if you or a family member are in the unfortunate case to have a motorcycle accident, reach out to us at lawtigers.com, or you can call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Also, no matter what state you're in, follow us on Facebook, Law Tigers, on our Facebook.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, Chris, and I'll be seeing you out in Alan Lane's Clutch Control Fan Zone here,
Absolutely.
Road Atlanta,
Glad
Moto
we
America.
could be neighbors.
Heck yeah, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you again. So until next time. That's it, man.
Nice.
Yeah.